able to do with your body whatever you want to, put in your body whatever you want to. Brother, why can't we get weed legalized? Seriously, like what? At this point, what seems to be the problem with them wanting to legalize it straight across the board, be it recreation or medical?
Or tax.
Okay.
It's already tagged. I mean, it's not, because we got a lot of examples now throughout the country. I don't know what the statistics is, but
yeah.
I think we're at least a third of the country has some form of weed legalized. So it's not that far off. I mean, we're probably a couple of elections away from you seeing, the weed not being illegal anymore.
Okay.
Not sooner, just because. Go ahead.
No, I was just laughing at what you were saying.
Yeah. I just don't think it's going to be an issue. It just grow like that, and the harm it has caused, in all communities, but particularly even in the Black community.
Yes.
For simple possessions, and fathers getting taken away from children, and the element effects. Like it needs to move to a place where it is legal, and we're not holding people accountable for, like you said, what they want to put in their bodies. And honestly, out of all the stuff that is legal, it's probably least bad for your health.
Exactly.
And since we've gone to a somewhat of a lighter topic, and for those out there, who's single, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for you. You welcome. Are you single?
Man, see, what I try to do, because I ain't trying to be funny. Like, I don't really broadcast my relationship status. When I get married, that'd be one thing, but before then, I try to keep that out. Like, people know, they know.
All right, well, that works for me. Well, look. Even whatever your status is, did politics affect it?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did affect it. And because it's a commitment thing. Relationships are interesting, and I think a little bit away from politics, just talking about what we gotta think through. I think in all society, but particularly in the Black community specifically, is how do we view relationships? How are we going about relationships? How do we value relationships? What are the new normals for relationships? Given all the social changes that we currently found ourselves in, but I think that's a whole nother podcast. But for the simple answer for my question of politics, yeah, it definitely had an effect on it, because it requires attention, and I was locked into what I was doing, and my purpose and my gaze. And most people want you, when you're in a relationship, they typically are your priority. So I couldn't make it my priority at that time, and that did have an effect on the relationship I was in.
I would like to educate our listeners, because Bill Maher talks about this all the time, where he's like, most people don't even know what the three branches of government is. So could you tell us what the three branches are, and could you tell us how they affect the Black and brown communities?
Yeah, for sure. So you got your judicial branch. That's your Supreme Court. If you look at it on the federal level or even on the state level, anything where you go to court, that's the judicial branch. You have, and that's important to everyone, because if you do find yourself in front of a judge, whether that's civil or from a criminal standpoint, you want to make sure that you're getting a fair representation, someone who can understand your experiences when you go in front of a judge, and then to be a representative. So who are in their views, are they conservative, they're liberal, etc. All that's important to understand who is being appointed to the benches, the diversity in that, so that we're having more cases that is what justice is supposed to be, blind, and not have prejudice put on it. And that's why we're looking to get changes within the judicial system that aligns with policing as well, to ensure that that's the case. Then you have your legislative branch. Your legislative branch is your state or federal levels, House of Representatives and Senate. And this is extremely important, so important, in that they write and enact the law of the land. They write the law of the land, and they control the purse book of the country. And then two, they also confirm the folks who go to the executive branch, whether that's a secretary, and then to the judicial branch too, whether that's a judge. And so that's on the Senate side where you get that confirmation. So it is extremely important to know who your House of Representatives are. They run every 2 years. You have more House of Representatives because they actually represent the population of a given state and the district within them. And they run it every 2 year cycle. So if you don't like your representative because the stance and the votes that they're making that doesn't fit in your interests, every 2 years there's an opportunity to run someone in their stead. So understand that, and that's important. On the Senate side, they run every 6 years. It's more of this is the Deliver House, where they debate and they're supposed to be thoughtful. And
did you say supposed to be, brother?
Supposed to be. But we got, call it spade a spade.
Yes.
We have Republicans who decided that they don't want to participate in governing, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for everyone. It's fine that there may be stuff that you don't agree with and things of that nature, but this position of not governing is not what this country is made to be. There's politics and people are hurt because of it. It's shameful. But that's supposed to be the Delivered House where they have the debate, and that's 50 senators, and it's 2 for every state. To keep the balance of state power to pass policy. It's only 2 senators from each state. I said it's 50. I said 100. It's 100 senators in total, 2 from each state, so that it can keep states who have smaller populations balance of power within Congress. So it's very important. And then the last one being the executive branch, which most people are familiar with. That's either the governor or the president of the United States. When you're talking on the federal level, or the VP, they control. They are the executor of law. So law does not the law in to the president of the United States execute that law into it, and they also are in charge of the running of the country. So all the departments falls under the administrations, and we appoint who he likes to run those. So as the money is distributed from Congress, then the executive branch is in charge of making sure that that money gets to where it's supposed to, and those projects and resources are distributed accordingly. So that's how those 3 things play out, and each one of them is important in their own way, but it's all in government. That's why you got to know how these things are playing with each other as you make your informed decisions on who's going to best represent you when they go to their respective places of government.
Since you brought up a certain party, which I don't even want to bring up their names, how is it that you can have someone who is against abortion, but yet once you have that child, they're also against helping people to get back on their feet as far as what they like to deem government assistance?
I wish I had to answer that question. That is, it perplexes me as well. Hypocrisy in a lot of the positions that come from that party is breathtaking, but it has relegated itself to be that, you know, the party of grievance, the party that is more concerned of shouting and telling you about what's wrong and why you should and why you can't, and at the same time it's really reflecting exactly what it is. So, you know, I'm one that is not trying to, I don't want to criticize the Republican Party beyond, we got to stop this. Not like seriously, like, we got to stop it. Like it's too much going on. Too many people are dying.
Too many.
Really, literally dying, losing their life savings. Beyond that, so it's just it's tragic, and the hypocrisy has to stop. But it really can't. It doesn't stop to we as people hold them accountable, and that's again running people and getting them out of office.
Yes. Cousin, I got a few more questions, and I know you're a busy person, then I'm gonna let you go. My last couple of questions is, again, I would like for our viewers to take something away from this as far as on an educational level. Sadly, most Americans go broke because of medical reasons. How can we fix our healthcare system?
I don't sound like a broken record. You gotta vote the people in who's telling you that they're concerned about your healthcare.
I just don't understand. Like, you're losing all your money because you can't afford to take care of your family. But why can't we just get this whole single taxpayer system together to where we can say, okay, we're all going to take care of each other since we're supposed to be Americans. And even if I have to put a little bit more in the pot than you, I'm willing to do that so that we can have universal health care.
Well, I think a couple things. One is money, greed and capitalism and people in their own respective interests that give the right people in their back pocket, for lack of a better phrase, to push those interests of those corporate interests, or push the corporate interests over the people interests. And they know who they are, and they know very well what they say that doesn't align with pushing our country to, a more perfect union. So
my question is, why can't we just pay in a little bit more into our system so where we can have universal health care or something better? Because people are literally losing their lives and jobs because they can't afford, health care.
My question is, why do we have to when all these branch people are getting it for free and doing nothing? I don't understand.
Well, so again, like I said, it goes back to who you put in the corporate interest. That's what I'm saying. So the corporate interest that you have, and then you have also the complexity of changing a system that's already in place to be able to absorb those changes. All the way down from how people are compensated to how do you improve, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of things that interlock with that. But the most important thing is electing people who are telling you they're going to do what we're talking about. I mean, you had Progressive who looks at universal health care, who wants to be able to provide this for everyone. They have some moderates that's kind of a blend, and then you have the conservatives who make they kind of on your own. You got the best here because it costs, but you don't get the best healthcare here for a reason. It's a capitalist kind of society. So at the end of the day, man, all the way we're really fixing it again is to elect the people in office that's going to pass the laws that's going to allow our healthcare system to support all Americans. It's cost mitigation. It saves money in the long run. It increases production for everyone. It's less people out of work, and more revenue that's going into the economy. So it pays for itself, and most advanced country have universal health care. So we got to figure it out, but it doesn't happen unless we elect the right people into office.
Do you think we'll ever see another black president?